And I was forced to write engineering, medicine, and things like that. Immediately after school, went to South Africa, did programming because my dad was like, don't sit idle. So I did programming, came out the best in Gauteng province. Still have the trophy for that.
Gauteng province?
Yes.
And you're from Kenya?
Yes, I was from Kenya. And the person who followed me, I had 92, the person who followed me had 72%. Yeah, so that was good. Then I went to engineering class, and my first day, my first class, I was like, this is the biggest mistake I've ever made. Okay, so I talked to my dad about it, and he said, no, my son has to be an engineer. So I did engineering.
How long?
6 years, because I took a year off.
So you were so you're bored for 6 years?
Yes.
Yet you came out top?
Yeah. And I earn more than most of my classmates. Just.
So tell me about, so how far have you grown? I mean, when you first started, ulianza na how much company?
Man, I started this company out of my spare bedroom in the house 4 years ago. You'd go out there, wear my one suit, go look for a client, come back at my house, do the work of 10 people. Because back then the uptake was really low. Grew that 2 clients, 3 clients. Of course, you're charging very little because you're new in the market. But right now, we enjoy very nice turnovers. I can't complain. I don't want to mention. But
I thought you'd sleep for that one as a material we're making here. Well, because you've got quite a number of guys you've employed. And now I can't come and tell you what. So you're able.
Yes. Yes.
Now, Pia.
Yes.
Before.
Yes. Pretty much 8 employees, 2 part-time, 6 full-time. Grows on a project-by-project basis, sometimes up to 15 employees. Yeah, and we pay them every month pretty well.
Was there a time when you started this business when you thought, big mistake, actually, you know what, that engineering thing, let me just get back to that because here ishiki hataki dogo?
Well, I remember, and it's interesting you bring that up. I remember one time I was in community and I had just gone to apply for an SSF. I was so broke, man. So I had to walk from community to town.
What?
Okay, so I'm walking to community and I'm like, what am I doing? Am I crazy? Because back then the uptake was so slow. Literally most of my clients were people who'd come from outside the country, so they knew that the digital space, so they told me about our website here and a few things here, but there was no real business. Yeah, yes, there was that time where I thought this is just not gonna work. But I think the heart of an entrepreneur, and this is the secret, you only fail if you quit. Okay, you only fail if you quit. So didn't quit, and we're here.
But there are many young guys who think that it's been destined for them to be where they are. If you're born Huruma, Madare, or whatever, and you're at home because maybe you didn't do well in your exams or your folks are not doing very well, destiny has been determined for you. So you just sit, wait for Mark to come and give him tuso.
Yeah, it's a wrap.
You would have done that.
Well,
you would have done. You'd have said, you know what, come on, see, Buddha say things are working out for you.
Yeah.
Watch and see, Dad G, you go. You didn't. So what would you tell guys who think that employment is waiting for a letter from someone saying you've been employed?
Well, I would tell them this, that by the time I was finishing my 5th year in campus, I had a wife and I was paying rent in Nairobi and my campus was in Egerton. Needless to say, my father wasn't very happy and I started life myself. I've never applied for a job, okay? Never applied for a job, and I only had a dream. That's all I had. I had a dream to be self-sustaining, to leave a legacy for my kids, not to borrow from anyone. And the thing that I remember during that time, I met an old man and he told me he was Kikuyu, so he told me in Kikuyu there's a saying, I don't know whether it's true or not, there's a saying that you can't call a kijana anything. Where's it a kijana kitu yote? Because he's not become anything yet. So it's a blank slate, okay? And I thought about it and said, well, you know what?
That means a lot, actually.
That means a lot, yeah? So that's what I did. I decided to make my own destiny, okay? So right now, I'm still the majority shareholder in my company. I recently sold 5% of it for a very large amount of money. I won't say what. But what I'm saying in a nutshell is it doesn't matter where you're born. Okay, I was born in Nakuru. All right, I have the teeth to show it. No, I have the teeth to show it, and I wear them with pride. I fly on planes with them because it's not my fault there's fluoride in Nakuru. Right. You understand? And it doesn't matter where you're from. You can build something from literally nothing. That's the message to the
Two things before you end up. One is say we're getting into the digital age. Yes. Look at every aspect of our lives. Yeah. Kama issue haiko katika digital, we won't have that sort of impact that we need to have. Angalia status on Facebook. So even Gava is getting into the digital age. You single-handedly transformed political communication in terms of campaigns katika digital.
Yes.
So much so that you got a certificate as the best in Africa.
Yes.
You know. So what would you do for this country in terms of fast track in digital?
Well, I think the first thing that we need to do as a country is we need to figure out our online payment options. Okay?
Why is that important?
Because of the little amount of money we spend online, because of the little amount of time we spend banking online, it translates that very little money is spent online. And if very little money is spent online, then your programmers are in trouble. All these people are in trouble. And the reason why the West has such a big internet-based Silicon Valley and all that kind of stuff is because they're able to sell to a grandmother in Boston, in Baltimore, in Utah,
online.
And they're able to sell stuff to them online. And that puts money onto the digital space. And once that happens, then you've got all these other companies coming through. So if you want to help ICT, and I think the government needs to really think about this, we need to get people out of the bank queues in the banking halls and onto the online space. And you know what that does? It saves banks money. It saves Kenyans time.
Yes,
okay,
true.
So it's a win-win situation. Okay.
So M-Pesa is not enough?
M-Pesa is it's good enough, but remember your bank account is still your bank account.
Yes.
That's your principal point of transaction. Okay. That's so right. M-Pesa is good, but also M-Pesa limits you to Kenya.
True.
You understand? There are a few guys who are trying to do M-Pesa from the UK and the States, but it limits you to Kenya. So we can't sell guys who develop apps on the thing still have to do a PayPal connection and things like that, and it's harder. Okay, so we need to get a lot more Kenyans investing and doing their transactions online. That puts more money onto the online space, gives more money to programmers, gives more money to website people, creates more online business, okay, so that you can start your little store online and not just have a small shed, you just send things out. The other thing that we need to do, honestly, we need to put numbers in the front of our houses, man.
Numbers?
Yes.
Explain.
Street number.
Oh,
you know, simple. No. You know, the thing is, let me tell you, it helps. I can tell you at least 3 or 4 big supermarket chains that I've personally been in conversation with who cannot do the home delivery service because Sanaishi Utawala. Street haina jina.
Yeah, true.
Street haina jina. You know, as in, okay, places like this, they've got street numbers and things like that. But now outside we don't.
Which are bigger.
Yes, and that limits what you can do online.
Rojani kama ningekuwa mtu wa wale kuandika ma CV za gavana kipeleka state house yenyewe wazi kuna mtu mmesahau.
I'm unemployable.
But you say, Mark, thanks man.
Well,
thanks man.
Asante sana.
Unasikia mazee, hakuna hustle haiwezekani na hakuna dream haiwezi patikana so long as you do about it. Huyu jamaa dream sasa muangalie. Ni vile baadaye amekataa kuvaa suti full. Ndio asikae msongo. Tuko alfajiri mazekana sisi tunarudi.